Hello, everybody. What's going on? This is Andrew, and today we are gonna play some standard. It's been a while since we've done some constructed, and I want to try out some of these new cards in standard. So I was scrolling through, looking for some new interesting decks the other day, and I came across this. It's a green, black, red with a little bit of white adventure deck. So it uses Edgewall Innkeeper along with Lovestruck Beast and Bonecrusher Giant, just like we know and love. And then with Foulmire Knight, which hasn't seen play for a while, but there was a green black adventures deck a few years ago that played Foulmire Knight, and it's pretty good in that deck. So it uses all of these adventures cards with the Giant Killer to generate value as the adventures core. It also uses Village Rites and Claim the Firstborn and Woe Strider, which is a neat little engine going on here also, to generate card advantage. So this deck is basically just like a mid-range powerhouse, right? It's not particularly aggressive, it's not particularly controlly, but it kind of sits in this nice little spot where you can have draws that are pretty aggressive, you can have draws that are pretty controlling, and you can kind of push the game either direction. But really, the interesting card here is the one I haven't talked about yet, which is Extus, Oriq Overlord, which on the backside is Awaken the Blood Avatar. So on the front side, he is a 4 mana 2/4 double strike, which is pretty good. But then he's got Magecraft that says whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery, return target non-legendary creature from your graveyard to your hand. So the joke here, or why this card is good in a deck like this, is that we have 14 creatures that go to the graveyard that are also instants and sorceries. So both sides of all of these adventures cards work really well with Extus. On the other side, Awaken the Blood Avatar, we've got an 8 mana spell that says as an additional cost to cast it, you may sacrifice any number of creatures. It costs 2 less for each creature sacrificed this way. And then each opponent sacrifices a creature. Create a 3/6 black and red avatar creature token with haste, and whenever it attacks, it deals 3 to each opponent. So that's a powerful effect also. If we've got, some goats from Woe Strider or some Lovestruck Beast tokens laying around, or even just like Foulmire Knights, we can cast this for, 2 or 4 mana, get its ability. They sacrifice a creature, we make a 3/6 haste that domes them for 3 right away. And then when the spell is in the graveyard, it's the creature. So you can just pick up copies of this card with another Extus that's sitting on the battlefield. So this deck it's taking a lot of pieces from a lot of different decks. It kind of shuffled them all together. The lands probably work out just fine because we've got the triomes and the pathways. And this looks like a powerful deck. But this deck was built for best of one. This deck didn't come with a sideboard, so we need to build a sideboard for this deck real quick, and then we'll take it into some best of 3 queues. Now, Standard is still kind of figuring itself out. There's a lot of different things going on in Standard as people try out new cards, and until the format settles a little bit, it's going to be hard to know exactly what the quote best deck is. But starting with ways to beat last season's best decks is probably a good place to start. So last season we had Sultai Ultimatum, mono red, mono white, and some sort of green red X adventures deck at the top, right? So what is good against all of those cards, or what is good against those decks? Different permutations of those decks, and what cards will people be using to beat us? So the first thing that I notice when I look at this deck list is that we do have a decent reliance on the graveyard. Extus needs the graveyard to really pop off, and we've got these Woe Striders in here too. So yeah, we can do the adventures thing without the graveyard, but with the graveyard, we really, really pop off. So sideboarding in some additional threat when we think the graveyard hate might come down is probably good. Clothis is a card I will often use for in for that. I can't spell. So Kloth is here, 3 mana, 4/5 indestructible. At the beginning of your pre-combat main phase, exile target card from a graveyard. If it's a land, you add mana. Otherwise, you gain 2, and Kloth deals 2 to each opponent. So this kind of domes your opponents when they play their graveyard hate. This just sits there and does damage to them. I don't know if Klothys is going to be good in this deck, though, because we don't have a ton of ways to turn Klothys on, and maybe that's not a big deal. I'll put a Klothys in here for now. And I'll keep thinking about other threats to potentially play. Other things, we have 2 copies of Mythos of Nethroi and 4 copies of Claim the Firstborn, which are really good against small creature decks. Especially with the Woe Strider and the Village Rites, we can steal their stuff, sacrifice their stuff, and now we're super ahead against other adventures or small aggro decks. But against control decks, these cards are kind of dead, right? There's not a ton that we can do with either of them. Mythos is a little less dead, but Claim, not very good against Emergent Ultimatum decks. So, Duress is often a good card to board in if we're a black base, which we are here. So I'm thinking a couple copies of Duress might be good. Oh, that's right, the new sideboard thing sucks. Okay. I'd heard that people were liking Deafening Silence right now. This beats up on Ultimatum. Okay, so I'm not going to play Deafening Silence. I don't think that's quite good enough. Against the control decks, I think it's important to apply pressure while disrupting them. So we've got these Duress because they're efficient. I think a couple copies of Redain also sound good. Redain is just a nice body that also messes up the Ultimatum plan. We can also play something like Vivian, Monsters Advocate. She lets us look at the top card of our library and cast creature spells from the top of our library. Since our whole deck is basically creatures, that could be really good. And she just lets us rebuild. I kind of like the idea of trying a couple of Vivian. What else? We've got the Duress. We probably want to play with our own graveyard hate to some extent. I don't know if that's Cling to Dust. Maybe it is just Cling to Dust. Cling to Dust is cheap. Yeah, let's try like 2 copies of Cling to Dust. And then maybe like a sweeper. What are the black sweepers? Honestly, another Mythos could be good too. Valky just to have something big. Elspeth's Nightmare. It goes in sideboards sometimes. Put another Mythos in there. People will play Necromentia against the Ultimatum deck. I don't think it's quite good enough. Just because they have other ways that they can win the game. Suffocating Fumes? That's not really the sweeper I'm looking for. I guess like Shadow's Verdict is one. Karvik the Spiteful, but that's not really what I want. Oh, I know there's more. I just can't think about it right now. Professor Onyx. Sure, I'll put a Professor Onyx in my deck. I don't know if she's good, but she's sweet. So what else? We've got additional threats. We've got disruption for the control decks. How about some more help against creature? I think we're really good against creature decks, but Like, what's the good lifelink thing to be doing? Nothing. Kunaros. This is kind of cute. It's also graveyard hate. I'm down to try some Kunaros. That kind of sounds sweet. I feel like there's definitely stuff I'm forgetting. Oh, here we go. Mythos of Snapdax? Sure. I don't know. We're just trying some stuff. We'll see. That sounds good enough to me. Let me craft these cards, and let's just jump into a game. When you're building a sideboard early on, you can kind of just throw in stuff. Because you don't always know what you're going to want, or exactly, or even what decks you want to prepare for. So just having some stuff that seems okay is a good place to start, and then you should be tweaking it from there, right? Seeing what's working, what's not. If you have too many cards for a matchup or not enough cards for different matchups, stuff like that. So we've got a whole bunch of stuff to try, and we'll see. We'll see if any of them are good enough or not. This hand seems fine. It's not super exciting, but it's fine. I've got all my mana. Yeah. All right, pork chop, what are we doing? It might be right to put another escape card in the sideboard also. I'm not sure if it should be another Woe Strider or a Chainweb Arachneer, because having extra escape cards is good when you're playing against rogues. Well, I was going to play the Triome, but now I'm wondering if this is a Triome I cycle eventually. I think I'll just lead on a black land. This is probably a green, this is probably a white. So I can Mythos on curve, or I can Woe Strider. Probably just hold on to the Foulmire Knight too. Playing a 1-mana 1/1 Death Touch doesn't really get a lot done. So I'll hold on to it to cycle, just in case. That's a cool sleeve. That's really neat. Come on, opponent. Crack your fetch land. Well, it looks like they might have disconnected, which... yeah, that happens sometimes, I guess. One more? Oh, nope, they're back. They hovered something. Yeah. Oops is right. So yeah, now I might just go Innkeeper plus Foulmire Knight to get the draw in. Yeah. So before that wasn't worth it for a couple of reasons, but now I was going to play the Innkeeper anyways, so just playing the Knight out. Our opponent's on the Ultimatum deck here, it looks like. What's gonna be better? Definitely attacking. I think we just go Woe Strider. Like, they might just sweep me here and then I'm really sad, but... Gotta put pressure on the board against this deck. And so here right off the bat, we'll get to see if some of our sideboard plans are going to work out. Oh, they're just foretelling something right now, and that's it. Heartless Act, the Woe Strider. Okay. Sacrifice this. Ooh, we can draw Extus, but we can't play Extus. Oh, what about the backside? Hold on. So we can just attack them for 6, 7, 8 next turn? Huh. I think we're keeping it for sure. I think I'm just gonna attack with both. Play Triome, play another Woe Strider. Because we're not dead, right? They can't kill us this turn. I guess that could be an Epiphany. Okay, maybe they can kill us. Oh, they just have Epiphany into Epiphany? Nice. Fun. This is fun. And then they found the Ultimatum. Nice. Now, we were just a little too slow and dirtily here. Time walk and a time walk. Oh, all of our stuff is odd. Okay, I'm done. We can go to game 2. So here we take out the village rights and the claim the firstborns. I think I might take out the giant killers too. Redain comes in, the Duresses come in. Clothis comes in. Our Mythos is good enough? Like, sometimes this is good and sometimes it's not. Okay, so maybe like some Skyclave Shades or something could be good here. Just some cheap, aggressive threats to put on a little bit more pressure. Because we don't really have that right now. Like, I'll put it in the Planeswalkers in case we need to play like a longer game, but something in the sideboard needs to make room for like some sort of more aggressive, also recursive threat. Skyclave Shade's the best one I can think of. The issue is that Skyclave Shade uses the graveyard, which Extus also does. It's good to diversify your threats if you can. We'll keep this. So we put a knight back. Extus is also kind of slow in this matchup. This is probably just not a good matchup for us. Everything but green. I'm trying to decide if I like stomp here or if I play out my knight. I'll probably just play out the knight. I guess I probably should have done one of the pathways on black last turn, played the knight on 1, and then tap Triumph on 2, or something like that. Yep. I'll just run out Bone Crusher here. I don't have time to not cast my spells. Yep. I guess I didn't come here not to play my Oriq. Or my Extus, sorry. But obviously we've drawn like 3 lands this game, and we'll probably just lose because of it. I guess if they have Shadow's Verdict, it doesn't kill Extus. They have Raisin Borrower. Okay. And then Valky to take my Extus. Okay. Come on, Bone Crusher. Come on, Bone Crusher. Come on, Bone Crusher. Not great. They can just have Valky become a copy of this and start getting Extus triggers. I guess I don't have creatures to get back, so it doesn't really matter. Mythos was a nice find. That's good. So let's run out Redain. Put this on green, I guess. Attack for 1. Garruk Unleashed. Okay. Gonna destroy Extus to get my Extus back. Got a Bone Crusher too. So now I can play Extus, get back Bone. Yeah. Okay. So stomp Garruk, pick up Bone Crusher, attack Garruk. Okay, hunt's over. Get out of here, Garruk. And now we've established a loop. Bone Crusher picks up Bone Crusher. Picks up Bone Crusher. Sweet. That was an awesome turn. I went from thinking we had no chance to win this game to being in the driver's seat all of a sudden. This is awesome. I'll attack. I guess I just stomp. I guess I could let them block and then just get it back. I don't know. I'll just stomp. And lethal's on board. What you got, opponent? They've got a whole load of nothing. Cool. Well, Mythos definitely bailed us out there. I think leaving these in is good. The rest probably stays how it is. Cool. I think I definitely still want to bring in Skyclave Shade. I don't think that changed my mind about that idea. I need a land, at least a land for this deck to be, or this hand to be really good. 2 lands, and this hand is really humming. It's probably a mulligan. That's close. No, this is a keep. I wonder if I put Innkeeper back with this hand. It's probably a land. Put back the Triumph, I guess. No, I need the Triumph. So put back this one. This is red, black. This is green. That's second black. Yeah. So we'll go tap land on 1. I guess I could have done the same thing. I could have gone Pathway on 1, Innkeeper, and then tap land on 2. Okay. I assume they take Extus again. Yep. Good draw. Let's see. What are we doing? Probably just stomping this. And then next turn we can slam Clothis. Turn after we can go Triome Bone Crusher or something like that. Or if we find an untapped land, we'll go Innkeeper plus Bone Crusher. Clothis is just going to clock them for a lot here. I want to put this on black, play Clothis. Ooh, check if the coast is clear. Elspeth's Nightmare and Heartless Act. Okay. And then they've got Coma, the Big Bad Serpent up here. I'll take the Heartless Act to force them to use their mana next turn. But this can't take anything out of my hand, so I'm not worried about that mode. Oh no, they found another Valky. Well, they have to take Bone Crusher. I'm going to eat stuff out of my graveyard, since Elspeth's Nightmare is going to nug my graveyard soon anyways. I'll just get Extus down. Oh, this is eats my duress, huh? Oh well, that's fine. Okay. If I find a spell, I get to pick up my Edge-Rolling Keeper. That's not a spell, unfortunately. Alright, we've got a bit of a clock on our opponent here. And Klothys is kind of ticking away. If our opponent had found a land, they probably would have just Windmill Slammed it already. So I don't think they found a land for Coma. Oh, they don't have double blue, do they? Ha, they don't have double blue. Okay, they shoot Extus. Klothys is going to win us this game. They had to get a Zagoth Triome because they don't have double blue yet. Nice. Klothys doing work. Trigger. Okay, I know what changes to the sideboard I want to make. Or maybe this is a good reason to not make any changes to the sideboard because it worked. It's a little awkward, but it worked. So I think the Vivians and the Professor Onyx are probably a little too silly. I think what I want to do is take those out for some Skyclave Shades and another Klothys is I think what I want to do. I'll meet you in the deck builder for that. Alright, we're back in the sideboard, and I just cut all the copies of Kunaros, the dog that I was like, ooh, that could be cool. No, I don't think it's gonna be cool. What I do want is I'm actually gonna cut. Do I have another? Cool. I'm going to play the other two copies of Mythos of Nethroi on the sideboard. I think this is a pretty powerful effect to have access to. And I'll just try out one Mythos of Snapdax for now. And then I want 2 Skyclave Shades. And I want another Klothys. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Actually, you know what? I want the 4th Duress. Do I? I'll keep the Mythos of Snapdax in there for now, I guess. I don't know. It could be cute against creature decks. It might just be completely unplayable also. I'm fully prepared for that. It seems powerful and we're the right colors, so we'll give it a shot. But that was awesome. We started out by beating the Boogeyman deck of the format. And we saw some of our sideboard cards be really powerful, and we saw our namesake card be really powerful. So things are looking up for us. Let's get at least one more match in with this deck. Not Lyra. I don't believe them. This hand looks good. I'll keep. So this time I'm going to do the thing that I always said I should do. I'm going to go Love Strike Beast on 1. Tap land, Innkeeper on 2. They're a Yorion deck, so they're also... this one... Attack. Oh, they don't... Wait, they're a white Yorion deck? Are they that like an Abzan Yorion deck? No plays. Play Love Struck Beast. Draw a card. Okay. Oof. Yeah, Omen of the Sun gets me there. Okay. That was a pretty good series of turns for my opponent. Gotta put one of these on black. I don't need green as much. Run out Extus here. This is fine as long as they don't have another Yorion in their hand. If they just hardcast a Yorion here, I'd probably just concede. Cool. Yeah, I just want to go to sideboards. I could maybe keep playing there, but maybe that was premature, but I just didn't want to. So Mythos seems good here. So does Onyx and my Planeswalkers. I think Klothys is probably good as a sticky threat, and then like the Village Rites and the Claim the Firstborns come out. Probably the Giant Killers too. So I probably want the Skyclave Shades. And some of the Duresses. Do I want all the Duresses? Actually, they have Omen of the Sun. Skyclave Shade does not seem particularly good there. Yeah, let's try this. I don't know. I was not prepared for Abzan, Yorion. Might be a Doom Foretold deck also. Yeah, we can probably keep this. Scry a land to the top? Nope. I'll just play my tap land. I'm not in a huge rush to duress them. Okay, they've got Charming Princes. That makes sense. So I think next turn I'll just go Stomp plus Duress. Yeah, I think that's still the play. I guess we lead on Duress. 2 Treacherous Blessing, a Binding the Old Gods, a Doom Foretold, and a Yorion, but no land. But they scried 2 to the top, so they have a land. I think I probably take the Binding the Old Gods. I don't know. That's a tough one. Their hand is stacked. No, they can just Llanowar Visionary to draw their other card. Yep. So here, what do we do? I can't cast Extus with the lands I have. I think I want to get... So I feel like I have to do this because this uses my mana best. And green here is probably better. So now do I go Lovestruck Beast or Woe Strider? I kind of like Woe Strider. I feel like it's a little stickier. I don't know. I also want to scry for a land, so maybe I just sack the goat and scry. Oh, they don't have a land? What are they doing? Could have sworn... What did they keep if they didn't keep a land on top? I'll just run out Lovestruck Beast here. Doom Foretold, sure. Yeah, I'll just sack Woe Strider, that's fine. Oh, Mythos was a nice draw, so I can Mythos the Doom Foretold after they sack a creature on their turn. I wish I had something else I could play this turn. Like, I guess I could cast Foulmire Knight, but I don't really want to. I could cast Bone Crusher, but again, I don't really want to. Yeah, I'll just pass. See what they do with their turn here. Yep. Blow up the Doom Foretold. Very nice. Attack. I guess I want this on red. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to play Bone Crusher here and pass. Hold on to the Extus. I'll cycle the Foulmire Knight on end step and see where we go from there. Another Doom Foretold. They lose one. Sure. Oh, that's it? Yeah, they're just dead. Cool. We were able to disrupt them just enough. I realized I didn't bring Redain in. Is Redain gonna be better than Klothys? She might be, because Klothys does get tagged by Doom Foretold, right? That seems fine. This hand seems good. What's the play here? Probably Temple on one. We can kind of play it slow. We'll take the Mythos. Birth of Meletus. Okay. Haven't seen that card in a while, but it makes sense that they'd be playing it. We'll just make a beast here, play a black land, and pass. Okay, Elspeth's Nightmare kind of sucks. Oh, none of these are white lands. That's really annoying. Yeah, I guess I just pass and then just use the Mythos to blow up the land. Because otherwise they're taking Mythos from me. Yeah, that wasn't great, but I think it's fine. Not sure what they do here. Pelucranos. Did not expect Pelucranos. That kind of sucks. At least I get to draw a card here. Oof. They have Valky too? I honestly did not expect Valky there. Okay. Another not white land? Uh-oh. Oh, if I had tapped better, I could have cast this turn. Okay, that's something I should remember. Ooh. Yeah. It's a white land, though. I think I have to bottom it. Not entirely sure what I'm looking for, but... Dress... So let's see, I can make a blood avatar, right? And then they have to sacrifice a creature. And I do have mana to dress first, so I guess I'll do this. Okay. I don't think I can beat Chariot, but I think I can beat Doom Foretold. So then I can play this on black. Play the Woe Strider. And now they either lose Pelucranos or Kaya. They have to choose which they want to lose. Okay, we're not in great shape. I don't want to... Oh, Doom Foretold just kills me, though. Backside, sacrifice 3 creatures. These 3. Yeah, so actually I needed to address Doom Foretold there. Because Doom Foretold makes me lose 2 life. Yeah, shoot. So I just have to say no attacks then? Yeah, that was a mistake on my part. Am I blocking? I have to block. Oh, I discard a card. Yeah, I just wasn't thinking that game. Just wasn't thinking there. Well, that's going to be it for me for this standard video. I just wanted to try out this deck and see if it could stand up to some of the current decks in standard, and I think it does. It was pretty sweet. This is a mid-range deck at heart, right? It's got a lot going on, a lot of decisions like we saw in that last game, and I made some of the decisions wrong. That's just me not being familiar with the deck. And I think there's a lot of ways you can take the sideboard. Obviously, we kind of struggled building the sideboard and figuring out what we wanted in it. But I think there's something here. I think Extus is really powerful. Both sides can do some stuff. And then obviously the core of Innkeeper, Lovestruck Beast, Bonecrusher Giant has been a mainstay in standard for a long time. Adding in Felmire Knight and Giant Killer is fine. Woe Strider, I'm not sure about. It didn't really do much for us, but I do think that there's something with the Claim, the Village Rites, and the Woe Strider, like that probably just helps slam dunk against creature decks, which we didn't play against here. I like the sideboard we settled on. The Professor Onyx and the Planeswalkers might be nonsense. It might just not be what this deck wants to do, but I like that they are different threats that don't use the graveyard. In case an opponent gets wise and brings in some graveyard hate, there are ways to kind of grind the game out. Mythos is probably just nonsense. And needs to be either another removal spell, like an actual removal spell, or something. We could probably get away with playing like a Doomscar in this deck. I know we have a bunch of creatures, but we could set up Doomscar if we know it's coming. The Mythos were good, and having some duress is probably right also. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this video of me kind of porting this best of 1 deck into a best of 3 shell. We beat Sultai Ultimatum, which I think is a good sign for the power level of this deck. I think some of the details aren't quite there yet, but you know, it's a work in progress. I'm gonna play with this deck a little bit more, and maybe we'll see another video of this deck once I've refined it a little bit. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you next time.